And now, the LSU Football Fix with Preston Guy, presented by TigerBait, starts now.
And welcome in to your LSU Football Fix. That feels so good to say after 6 months of not doing this show. But we're back, and back with me, as always, each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. on the TigerBait YouTube channel and Facebook page now, by the way. Publisher at LSU Country, part of Sports Illustrated's network of sites, Zack Nagy. Zack, how's the offseason been treating you, man?
Yeah, it's been good, man. But like kind of in the production show before we got on, we were sitting there talking about like we're back. It's been a long offseason. Obviously, we've seen LSU kind of kick butt in the portal, spring camp, summer workouts, SEC media days, and kind of at that final phase of the offseason now with fall camp. And that means that you and I are back on the camera. So it's excited to get back to work, talk ball, and we sure as heck got a lot to talk about here.
Oh, no doubt. So much to talk about. It has been an exciting time of year. And what's interesting, so you went to practice today. I was at practice on Saturday. So we missed each other, but at the same time, we're now able to cover a lot of the scope of what was going down. So that's always fun. So we're going to have practice details in just a bit. I kind of before we dive into that, I want to discuss a little bit of what we've missed in between the show. You know, some updates with the team and get to some headlines and all that jazz. But before I dive too deep into all that, I want to thank our title sponsor. Of course, this is the LSU Football Fix presented by Celebrity Theaters. And guys, they make what we do possible. They were one of our first very sponsors, and we're gonna give them a huge shout out for everything that they do. Guys, remember, they are Louisiana's only locally owned and operated theater. Because they're locally owned and operated, guys, there's just a few things that you're guaranteed to see, like a clean facility, superior pricing, superior customer service. They do have all the state-of-the-art technology, largest arcade in Baton Rouge. They've got 2 locations, guys, Ruston and Baton Rouge. And, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that they may be adding on to their lovely facilities that they've got going on. But guys, don't forget they've got Senior Savings Day, Bargain Tuesday, College Night going on. They've got 8 to 10 auditoriums at their location, so they're great for private events, birthday parties, movie screenings, whatever you're looking for. Celebrity is here to take care of your needs. All right, I've got a few items actually here. I'm gonna try to share my screen here. Let's see, share screen. Okay. All right, and we're gonna talk about a few things that we missed in this offseason. There we go. Can we see that? Our boy Garrett Nussmeier got engaged. Look at him with his lovely fiance Ella Springfield. They've been together since high school, so good for Garrett Nussmeier. He's been electric throughout this camp, by the way. So good for him. Happy for him. Let's see if we have any other news here. See here. Stop share screen. Okay. And our boy, Zack Nagy. He's tying the knot. There's Miss Nagy right there. Look at them, man. That was in April. Zach's growing up in front of our eyes, guys. He's got him a pretty little girl, got on a knee, dresses nice. That's a great suit, by the way. Zack, man. Oh boy, I'm coughing up just thinking about it, man. When is the wedding? Is it going to be like what, November 5th?
Man, that has been something that I've been talking about with people for so much. There is no such thing as a fall wedding. I think people who do that, shame on you, man. We're in the business where it's maybe a spring wedding, but even now and then, man, we can't even do that because of LSU baseball. So for me, man, next June 2026 is when Gabby and I are going to make it official and tie the knot.
Wait. Next June.
Next June.
You already have a date. That was quick.
Mm-hmm. So time to lock things down, get it done. But super exciting off season for obviously Garrett and super exciting offseason for myself as well to propose to Gabriella. Exciting times. And we're locked and loaded on that date in June. So excited for it to get here.
Well, congratulations to you, man. And did I hear right? You also bought a house this offseason?
Didn't buy yet, but we're working towards getting to that point, man. We're excited. We moved in together this offseason. So things are rolling over here in the Nagy household.
There you go, man. Well, look, I'm excited for all of that. What I want to know is, did you look into that June date? Is it after Omaha for baseball?
Man, so her and I talked about that for a while, just because we went and looked at it, and I think it'd be the first. It might be the first weekend of Omaha potentially. So there could be some issues here and there. We'll see what happens when it comes down to it. I believe in Jay Johnson to get to Omaha every single year. But at some point, I gotta do some personal things as well on my end. So
sure.
Exciting times, man. Good off season, busy off season, but straight football season now, man. Excited to get to it.
I just love that you're just focused on it, man. I mean, look, we'll sacrifice the bad week of Omaha, okay? But the important one, you're going to be there. You're going to be there just in case. And if Jay Johnson keeps cooking in the portal the way he's been cooking, you might be cooked come that time of year. But that's okay. You only get married once.
We know it's the football fix here, but it's hard not to sit back and talk about what Jay Johnson's been doing. It's ridiculous out here. But nonetheless, you're spot on. You're spot on. Speaking
of what we've missed, Jay Johnson and LSU baseball team defending national championships. They have won a national title since we last talked. So, quite a bit. Now, you guys might have noticed, if you're fans of the show, this is a different looking studio that I'm in. Well, I've got a little explanation, because here's something else that you might have missed while we were out. I don't know if y'all can hear or not. Hopefully you can see. We're checking out my son's dunking skills. We're having a girl. Baby Guy the girl coming up this fall. Now, I wasn't as smart as Zack, and I didn't plan my life around football season. We're going to have this baby right smack dab at the end of football season. It's going to be November. So if Zack Nagy shows up here by himself one night, just know I'm at the hospital doing it myself. And Zack, I'm just kidding. I know I didn't brief you on that before we went live tonight, but no, we'd probably have Mike Scarborough here to kind of help guide the ropes and figure all that up. But yeah, I'm having a girl. So this is the future home of Peyton Guy in this room. If you can't tell by the T-Rex statue behind me, we are currently in the process of renovating this room, but I'm building a new studio right now. Actually, we just started today. So we'll see. It should be, I don't know. I'm hoping within a month we'll be ready to rock and roll with the new studio. But I'd say we're doing all right. Look, I mean, Zack, you can hear me, right?
I can indeed, man. It's been an exciting off season for us. I can't believe you're 2 for 2, man. Like a boy and a girl. Like, I mean, you can't complain. It's the best of both worlds. My parents always sit back and say, obviously, I have twin sisters, so they went 2 for 2 as well.
They went 2 for 2 on the first try.
They did.
They went 2 for 1.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2 now, man. So it's exciting time. Super excited for that. And if all things happen accordingly when that date does come, and Mike and I need to hop on here, man, we'll hold down the fort. So exciting for both of us.
Well, look, not to get too political here, but that's all the genders. I mean, we're tapped out. We got them all, man. We're touching all the bases. I guess part of me wanted to be a double boy dad, because I don't know. I don't really know what to do with a girl. I was talking to Bryce Kuhn about the other day I was like, man, what do you do with a little girl? Do you just like give it tea? And his advice was, well, the first thing is I don't call it an it. Call her. Yeah. But I don't really know what to do with girls. I like boys, but I got to name her after my grandma. She's going to be Ellie is her name, Ellie Hope. So I'm very excited about that. Rundown tonight, we're going to talk about practice. I'm going to let Zack talk about practice today, where there was a good bit of feedback. It was an intense practice by all reports. I'll talk a little bit about practice on Saturday. The coaches poll came out today. We're going to talk a little bit about expectations for this team. Of course, I wrote a column, including Zack's input on it, by the way, about expectations for this team this year. and maybe take a look at the local versus national expectations out there, and just some general themes I'm catching. Oh, and check this out. Along with those themes, this goes hand in hand. Did you see Netflix is doing a documentary on SEC football?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. They've been they went around all last year and stuff, and specifically the South Carolina game during player interviews, they had the whole Netflix crew in there, and it's exciting, man. They're gonna have a lot of inside information. Of course, we saw that little snippet today. You sent it in the group message, and if you're not in that yet, make sure to subscribe to Preston so that you can get in there because we were talking about it a little bit in there earlier today, and it's going to be cool. The little snippet obviously had Garrett Nussmeier and Whit Weeks playing some NCAA. Talking a little bit about his return to LSU and whatnot. So it's going to be a really cool show. A lot of behind-the-scenes stuff in the SEC, and LSU is going to have a major, major episode in that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And guys, you know what's funny about that group chat you mentioned? I remember being nervous to start the group chat. Like, oh, man, I don't want to be the guy self-promoting my show and shameless behavior. But, it's actually grown to the point where it's like a lot of people in this group chat just like look forward to hearing it every day. I think our Twitter messages were down or something one day, and people were like, "Oh my God, I missed y'all so much." It's like, man, it's turned into something kind of beautiful. But yes, we're going to get to a lot of comments tonight. Please, if you're watching tonight's show, don't forget to like, comment, share, super chat, all that jazz to keep us going. Share the show to your Twitter, Facebook page, all those goodies so that we can get rocking and rolling. And look, I got to give a shout out to my guy, 3449. Okay, sometimes we run late. Fire 3449 never runs late. Okay, he's hitting the like button 30 minutes before the show starts. So y'all do what he says here. All right, but then he kind of upset me with his next comment. It has occurred to me that Mike looks a lot like Lee Majors from the TV show Fall Guy. All right, let's investigate. Let's investigate.
Man, Mike and I were talking the other day, and somebody commented on one of his shows that he looks like Sean Payton.
Everybody does that.
Like all this and that. I'm like, he looks exactly like Sean Payton the more that I think about it a little bit more. So, yeah, he's got some lookalikes. Wow, that is crazy right there.
He's a little older than Mike here, but first off, I hate that you pick someone as cool as this guy, okay? Like, can we pick people less cool than freaking Lee Majors, okay? This sucks. This sucks that I had to come up here and agree with you. Like, yeah, Mike kind of looks like Lee Majors. Making me blow smoke up. I mean, Mike's ego, guys. I mean, look, that's the kind of ego guy we're talking about here. He uploads stuff like that to this show, and but yes,
man,
I agree.
I saw Scarborough for the first time in a while this week, and he looks good. He's been hitting the gym. He's looking good. Obviously, he's been doing a lot of stuff this all season as well of his own. So Big Scarborough is looking good, man. It was exciting to see him, man. I hadn't seen him in a little bit. Well,
look, hey, you talk about someone getting married. Mike also got engaged. I don't know. I think he got engaged last football season, though. Yeah, it was not since we'd been gone. So he's engaged. Well, he still doesn't have a wedding picked out or anything. At his age, it just kind of becomes more of a formality. I'm sure we'll look up one day and they pulled a shotgun wedding out of a firehouse or something like that. Let's see here. Do I want to get to an ad break or get to some questions? Let's get to some questions first. Y'all waited 6 months to ask us questions. Let's get to a few, then I'll get to some ads, and then we're going to let Zack break down practice today. How about that? Let's see here. Devin Johnson, hoping the run game is improved. O-line could have Nuss running for his life. Clemson will send the house. They know what he can do. Flood the box and get him running. Clemson wins by double digits. Okay. All right. Notice I want to point out that he said the run game is improved, not the offensive line is improved from last year. I mean, is it a hot take to say that if the offensive line is better than last year, this is a national championship contender?
No, I mean, Preston, every time I talk to somebody about this team, I consistently say this team's going to go as far as the O-line allows them to. You have all the weapons offensively. We don't need to dive into that until we get into kind of the practice breakdown and whatnot. But along the offensive line, man, you got some guys. I look at it as a puzzle. And if you can put that puzzle kind of together properly, you're going to be in good shape. So to that, I echo that same sentiment. I think that if this O-line comes out, looks sharp this year, yeah, this is a college football playoff team and a contender in a big way. So for sure, I completely agree with that if this O-line is solid, this team's going to be very, very scary this year.
Yeah, and look, I'm right there with you, man. Notably, they lost 4 drafted offensive linemen. I continue to say that if this offensive line is average, this is a championship contender. Okay. I don't know that I'm willing to call them an average by SEC standards. Okay.
Right.
I don't know if I'm there yet to declare them, but there's some hope that I have. We'll talk about that hope. I talked to Bo Bordelon, who's probably not going to end up being a starter, but he's contending for sure. And I talked to Tyree Adams in depth this weekend. Actually, had a real long talk with Tyree Adams, and they there's some nuggets here or there. A lot of times you have to weed through the PR, the team talk stuff, and kind of see what's there. But we'll figure it out. Crying Belly, in honor of the first show of the year. Preston, you have a great show. Everyone, please like this show. Please free my family. Crying, we've discussed this before. We will not be freeing your family. You know what you have to do to get them freed. All right. Brad David, welcome back, Preston. Do you think Harold Perkins will finally get back to the elite player he's capable of? Zach, why don't you take that one?
Yeah, I think today during practice, he was electric. And we talked about it a little bit kind of on social media, and I'm sure a lot of people saw the kind of media talking about it to a certain degree. But during 7-on-7 live period today, he dropped back in coverage, baited Garrett Nussmeier, and came up with the interception. And I think when he came up with that interception, I shed a tear. I sat back and I was like, "Oh my goodness, we're here." Like this is where he's starting to finally put it together in a way. He was wreaking havoc in the backfield. He was dropping back in coverage and was super effective in that regard too. So that was truly where I was starting to get a little bit hype. Obviously, you don't want to kind of buy too much stock in fall camp. We talk about that enough. But for me to see Harold Perkins start to piece everything together, look explosive, quick, twitchy, athletic, kind of back to that old form of his. It was hard for me to not get excited and think that he can get back to that quote unquote elite level of a player that he is. So yeah, today was special. Today was really exciting to watch that.
And from what I've noticed, coaching staff with the talk was he was going to play star. And of course he is playing star, but they're also playing him at edge rusher. Have you noticed that?
I did, and it's going to be fun to watch that because Blake Baker going into the offseason was all about adding versatility to this defense, whether it was through the portal, signees, etc., and then also utilizing his guys like Harold Perkins in a myriad of ways. And we saw that during practice today, and obviously you saw that on Saturday as well, just seeing where he lines up on the field, whether it's dropping back in coverage and utilizing more of that star role or getting off his break as an edge rusher as well. So this is a versatile weapon. We talk about him being a Swiss Army knife time and time again. It's hard to not be excited about what he can provide because Blake Baker's making sure that he can put him in a scheme where he can unleash Harold Perkins in the best way.
Here's my thing. What does Harold Perkins play, in my opinion? I think Harold Perkins is a havoc wrecker. Okay. He's a guy who's going out there trying to get after see ball, get ball. Okay. What I think Harold Perkins is not good at is the little things in football. Is he going to lower a shoulder or square up and take a block to keep his teammate off of it? You know what I mean? Is he going to blow up a blocker? So, that kind of stuff. He's smaller. He's about 210. Okay. And he moves like a bat out of hell. I think you have to use him situationally. You have to be able to have other teammates clearing up blocks so that Perkins can go after him and get him, or he's an edge rusher. He can get after the edge, but you have to put him in a position to be successful. And I think watching him this fall camp, what I'm slowly coming to the realization is he should have never been in a middle linebacker role. A middle linebacker has to do a lot of those things. Like Whit Weeks does middle linebacker very well. He takes on blocks. He reads the field. He lines up. He puts guys in right positions. I think Harold Perkins is a havoc wrecker, and I think Whit Weeks is a quarterback of a defense.
Yeah, I think that's money. I don't think I can say much better than that. I think when you look at Harold Perkins, I'm not going to curse, so I'm just going to keep it PG. This is a guy who will say wreaks havoc, like you said. See ball, get ball. That's his mentality. That's where he flourished as a true freshman. But obviously, in order to prepare for the next level, you have to be a more versed player, of course, at his size. That's what everybody likes to talk about. And that means dropping back in coverage and utilizing a little bit more of that star role. and not necessarily a middle linebacker like we've also seen in the past, like you just alluded to. So, yeah, I think Whit Weeks is the quarterback on defense, and then you have a true weapon in Perkins to really make the engine go as well. So that's a fun tandem to watch this year. You got a lot of bodies to work with. Those two are certainly going to be the ones that can get this team over the hump and make this defense serviceable in 2025.
Let's go. We're so back. We're back, baby. God, I did Carter Bryant's show last night, Power Hour LSU. If you don't follow him, follow him. He's got really good analytical stuff. But just talking about the small things of football, talking about guys making running backs blocking and wide receivers going downfield and making a block downfield, and guys like Jack Pyburn who love to take on blocks, lower a shoulder and square up. That little stuff, I just got so fired up. I love football, guys, and I'm so happy to be here. Stephen Miller, let's go. Welcome back.
Hey, man, quick shout out to Stephen Miller, man. That's a guy. He is so passionate about LSU, man. This is a guy, if you're not following him on Twitter, you got to make sure to do that, man. This is a guy who bleeds purple and gold. Certainly one of my favorite followers, of course, and he keeps up with Preston and I in a really big way. So make sure to check him out. He's always talking LSU ball, so a real one, that's for sure.
Certified ball knower.
Yep.
I'll also say certified media knower. Knows all the people in the industry, and he can tell you all the good ones and bad ones, man. Clemson is overrated. That's Keith Parker. Here's my take. I think Clemson, a lot of people are ranking in the top 10. I've seen a couple people have them as high as number 1. They bring back a quarterback who threw 36 touchdowns last year, and he was right behind Nussmeier. I think 3,800 yards passing. So Klubnik is among the best quarterbacks in the country, just like Nussmeier is. Okay. They bring back probably the best defensive line in the country. And, you know, this is a team that is pretty stacked in all fronts. But it's also a team that went 9-4 and went 0-3 against the SEC last year. And we'll talk more about this when we get to our schedule prediction. I'm going to ask Van Lathan to come back with us this year. We're going to do a nice long show later on in a couple weeks. And I'll talk more about this, but I don't think there's a single team on LSU's schedule that's truly unbeatable. The two best teams in LSU's 12-game regular schedule went 9-4 last year.
It's a really fair take. I think there's not much for me to kind of be a devil's advocate there. I think it's spot on. I think you got a lot of toss-up games, of course. I think that episode, if we can get Van Lathan back on the show, that'd be really, really fun because
such a good time.
He's always fun to talk ball with, and that's one where I'm going to have to sit back and have notes prepared because the last couple of years, man, you and I did really well. We were good. Mike might have gotten to us a little bit last year.
Don't talk about that guy.
But this year I'm going to have some notes prepared and whatnot because this schedule, there's a lot of toss-up games like you just said. So, yeah, no, there's a lot of parity this year in the SEC.
Well, you went 9-3. No, you went 10-2 last year, right? Yeah, no, yeah, you changed on me at the last second. You went 10-2. I went 9-3. Then Lathan went 10-2, and I remember thinking I wanted to go 10-2, but I didn't. Mike also went 9-3, but he was like, "But I kind of want to go 8-4." But I'm gonna say they squeak one out, and he would have been on the money if he had gone 8-4. He should have listened to his gut, and that's the one thing we kept saying all last year is Mike keeps on being right. Keeps on being right. By the way, I did interview 25 media members this year, and the consensus is 10-2 for this team. So, Zach, what was your prediction? Did you go 10-2 this year? Or we'll talk about that more later. We'll get into
let's
that. Hold off. We'll save that for a show because we're gonna have updated opinions anyway as we see fall camp. I'll say this: are the fall camp impressions making your opinion of this team more or less favorable?
Dude, it's more favorable. I mean, when you look at the weapons that they have offensively, it's hard to not be excited. Nick Anderson, just seeing him up close and personal, this guy is an absolute freak of a player, kind of getting him back to full strength and getting a look at this defensive line. It's really, really intriguing when it comes to that position group. So for me, I'm not going to say my predictions or anything like that just yet because like you said, we'll save that for an episode so everybody can tune back in. But for me, definitely more favorable. I think this team has tremendous depth. Garrett Nussmeier looks sharp. It's an exciting time for this team. So to keep it short and sweet, yeah, pretty excited and pretty favorable when it comes to a prediction perspective.
Ask Zack, when does the College World Series hit?
If anybody's just tuning in, we were talking about me and my fiance are getting married next June, and it looks like it could be right around that time where that first weekend of kind of that whole college football or College World Series week 1 or that first weekend could be. So I don't know when it ends. I'm going to have to start keeping track of it, though, because we know that Jay Johnson's going to have this team well-oiled and prepared when it comes to postseason baseball.
Congratulations. Just 2 big winners. College World Series versus – dude, look, I know baseball fans get upset with me. I love baseball. I love being a fan of I'm not paid to cover the baseball team, not often at least. And I love being a fan of LSU's baseball team. But dude, brother, you cannot pay me to miss SEC football. Hell no. Nope. Brad David, Preston, why don't you do your show all year long? That's a good question. It's been considered a few times. At first, it started as an issue of it was difficult to get sponsors to commit to an off season. Now I don't think that's really a problem at this point with the way the show's rocking and rolling, but probably a little bit of it would be my wife would probably kill me, as Buddy was making fun of me a little bit ago. And I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of times I wonder if like I'm good enough at talking on this podcast, if I can come up with enough stuff to talk about during an off season. I think a lot of weeks would be fine, but a lot of weeks during the football off season, there's like one news item. And I hate doing like 3 things to watch for on the defensive line this year. You know, I like more heavy hitting news stuff and then going long form off of that. Oh my God, little guy girl. We can't stop winning. We can't stop winning, guys. We're going to do a lot. Go live from the hospital. I'll do my best. I might pop in, but I don't know if I'm running a show. I know it looks like we just kind of screw around here, but guys, there's actually a lot to do to like produce and put the show on. It is crazy. In fact, if y'all ever hear me like stutter and get a little awkward on the show, it's usually because I'm doing like show management type stuff. Let's see here. Hope the internet works better now. Hey, that's another off-season update.
Yep.
I had Cox come out and redo my internet. They found like a I don't know what it is, but it's like a connection reducer on my house. Remarkably, there was something reducing the signal speed to my house, and this guy found it. He's like, "There you go. That'll fix your problem," and it's helped. So y'all let me know. Preston confirms too. I'm getting tired of all. I want to see Trey Green dunk the football after a touchdown. Dude, Tre'Davious is... Did you see... Were you a little surprised to see that Tre'Davious Green on the single tight end sets is the tight end out there for the most part?
A little bit, but the versatility that he has and the way that they're using him kind of sporadically, that doesn't really move me too much. I mean, the catch that he made today along the sideline, it's one that they would have gone to...
Oh, yeah. The toe dragger.
In game.
Yeah, do you think he catches it in the game?
He caught it. It's just a matter of if that 1 foot, that toe tap got in. Because it was one.
That sounds like you're saying no. That sounds like you're saying no.
Some of us said he got his foot in. Some of us didn't say he got his foot in. Regardless, one heck of a catch. I mean, go up to the next floor to make that play. So they're going to use him in a myriad of ways. It's no doubt about it. This guy's going to be a gamer in 2025. Like
the stream. Best football fix. Y'all know what it is. If you're part of the family, you're one of the BFFs, guys. If you know, you know. All right, Torque Lewis. Torque Lewis. That sounds like he's trying to make fun of someone with a lisp. You have to fire BK if he goes 8-4 with this team. I mean, I don't know that you can fire him. You owe him $56 million as of December 31st. I don't know. LSU has the money. Here's the deal. You can fire him. I can fire him. Zack can fire him in terms of public face, but Scott Woodward cannot fire him in terms of payroll and coaching this football team. I think if you flip those around, I think he keeps his job. Now, I think it might be a position where public faith is gone and NIL money is now gone, and that's problematic for a number of reasons. But I don't think he gets fired. Now, look, if he goes 8-4 with this roster, I'll go ahead and say that I'm losing faith in BK. He's going to have to do something to earn my faith back. As it stands right now today, I have faith in BK. I think BK is a good coach who can get it done at LSU. Yeah, last season was disappointing, and we'll leave it at that. But am I missing something? Am I off?
No, I mean, even earlier today I was talking about it. Yes, if he doesn't make the college football playoff this year with this roster, like you just alluded to, I mean, you're in a pretty bad way. And of course, like you just said, the public would certainly be pushing for him to get out of here. But at the end of the day, that buyout is significant. I'm not quite sure that would even be the case if they went 8-4. I think Brian Kelly's your head coach in 2026. I think I'm not going to even try to put that type of mojo into the atmosphere right now. I think with the talent on this roster, returning Blake Baker and Joe Sloan in year 2 as the coordinators, I think you have too much momentum going into this year to kind of put that type of mojo in the air. I think it's too exciting of a time for this football program. So for me, I don't even see 8-4 right now. But nonetheless, even if that were to happen and the sky did fall, I think Brian Kelly's your head coach in 2026. And like you said, Preston, I think this is a guy that can get it done as well. He's starting to put together just an incredible front office headlined by Austin Thomas. A lot of the wheels are turning off the field, and now it's about making it happen on the field as well. So exciting times for this program. I can't put 8-4 in the atmosphere right now just because I'm too intrigued with this roster.
This team's too good to go 8-4. Although I did have one person in my prediction poll. It was one of our TigerBait writers actually predicted LSU would go Garrett Ross. He said 8-4. So everybody else, 24 out of 25 went 9-3 or 10-2. 17 went 10-2. So that kind of gives you I guess the one thing that stood out in that column, not one local media member went 11 plus wins. Not one. No homers on this beat. I mean, everybody's very aware that, there's probably inherent bias when you cover a team, and they do their best to be objective and fight it off. So I got to give credit. Hit like, beat Mike. Y'all know the game, guys. Come on, give me some more likes than Mike. I got a super chat here. Clemson is overly hyped. That's the second comment we've gotten tonight. Really good pass rush, poor tackling team. You can run on them. You can pass on them. Also, last year they beat no elite team. I don't know that I have anything to add to that. I mean, kind of spot on.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. I can't go along the lines of saying that they're overhyped yet just because Cade Klubnik is a fantastic quarterback.
Right.
We talk a lot about Garrett Nussmeier taking that leap this upcoming season. I think you're going to see that from Cade Klubnik as well. You're arguably looking at QB1 and QB2 if all things go accordingly in the 2026 NFL draft. So for me, they upgraded their roster defensively as well, going out and getting some players in the portal for the first time ever under Dabo Swinney for the most part. So they've elevated the roster to a degree. I can't say that they're overhyped, but we'll see some more buzz coming down the stretch of fall camp to where we can kind of break that down a little bit more. But it's a pretty fair assessment. I can't argue it too much.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you, man. I'll say this. Is it that Clemson is overhyped, or is it that there's no real dominant team in college football and you're kind of left looking? I mean, Texas was number 1 in the coaches poll, but they're breaking in a new quarterback who's never started in college football before. I mean, who is your dominant team in this preseason? And there's not even a Nick Saban to point to and say, well, I mean, they're losing a lot of dudes, but it's Saban and Bama. There's none of that going on. Bama went 9-4 last year.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. And that comes to what we were kind of talking about earlier, where there's so much parity in college football right now. And I was talking about the SEC specifically earlier when I was talking about it, but it's college football as a whole. It seems right now that this Natty, this upcoming season is kind of up for grabs for the most part. I mean, obviously, Texas, you have a juggernaut of a defense out there. Arch Manning, a ton of hype, a ton of buzz right there. When we talk about the quote-unquote Nick Sabans of the world, we know what Kirby Smart's done from a dynasty perspective over there in Athens. But can Gunnar Stockton get it done for that program at the quarterback position?
Didn't look great last year, I'm going to be honest.
There's a lot of parity right now, man. Like, that's why when I talk about LSU and I think about what this team can accomplish, you're not looking at any type of dynasty team right now in college football that's going to get in their way. You talked about it a minute ago where the best games, the best teams on that schedule, went 9-4 last season, I think is what you said. So, yeah. I mean, you have a really good opportunity if you're LSU to go out there in 2025 and punch some teams in the mouth. That's for sure.
Now, again, I don't want to dismay the schedule because it's not top heavy, but it is a tough schedule. I will say this 1,000 times, and I mean it. I know this might sound cliche, guys. The ceiling is 12-0 for this football team. The floor is 7-5. The floor is 7-5. Okay. There's 5 freaking football teams. If you don't bring your A game, that will beat you. I promise you. Probably more, but I just don't think you'll go 1-6. I think you'll eventually get some wins on tough teams, but I mean, South Carolina is going to be tough. Lenore Sellers, he's no joke. We saw how that game went a year ago, where a lot of people argue South Carolina was the better team and LSU caught some breaks. It is what it is. Let's get to one more comment before. And look, guys, I promise you we're going to get plenty of comments, but I got one more comment. And then we're going to get to an ad break. We're going to get a practice report, and then we're going to wrap up the show with a couple more things. Preston, at this time in 2023, could you tell that the defense would not be good? The 2023 offseason, we were doing a ton of investigation to see. We all kind of knew that offense was going to be just elite. But we all kind of were like, well, what was it like in 2019? Because remember, we didn't have practice access back then. And we did in 2023. So we're like, is this a recoming of the 2019 offense? And the fact is, more or less, that was correct. It was like the 2019 offense. Lightning struck twice at LSU. And my God, Matt House, that criminal. If that defense would have been average, that would be a national championship team. But it wasn't. It was horrible. And the fact of the matter is, none of us probably predicted it was going to be as bad as it was. But I think we were all kind of sitting there hoping that it would be average. And I'll say this, the big takeaway is offense, defense look pretty evenly matched. No? This year?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't even think I could sit back and say that I thought that offense was going to be that electric either. So, yeah, I think there were a lot of question marks going into 2023.
Yeah.
I did not think that they were going to be that horrendous. I don't think anybody did. And like you said, even if they were just a little bit, even below average, just a little bit below average, that's a national championship contender. So nonetheless,
even a little below. Yeah,
even just a little bit below, man. So I think right now LSU is in a good position and defensively in a whole different dimension than they were in 2023 at this point in time.
My hot take for this season is that this will be the best defense we have seen since 2019. It's my hot take.
It's a fair assessment. I think when you look across the board defensively in the trenches, the defensive tackles look fantastic. Dominic McKinley is a player that can break out. Then you look at the edge rushers. That 2-deep depth chart is ridiculous. At the linebacker position, we know what Whit Weeks can do. West Weeks is emerging. You got a guy like Devon Keys who can make an impact there. Harold Perkins at the star. And then an entirely revamped secondary. So from a personnel perspective, Preston, I think you're right on the money. I think they've got the talent. They've got the dudes. It's just a matter of kind of putting that puzzle together, like I alluded to a little bit earlier about the offensive line. You have to do the exact same thing defensively. You just have so much versatility and so many weapons to work with.
Alrighty. All right, guys, we got to do a little bit of sponsorship here, but that's okay because we got plenty of good sponsors going down here. Let's see. We'll talk about our one of our new ones, Bay's Oyster Bar. Guys, they just opened this summer in June. They're now open at 315 North Boulevard in downtown Baton Rouge. They're serving up the freshest farm-raised oysters from Grand Isle. No mud, no grit, just clean, delicious flavor. If y'all are a raw oyster fan and you've ever been to a seafood place that serves raw oysters, but it's not their bread and butter, y'all know what I'm talking about by the no mud, no grit, just clean. It's good oysters, y'all. If you're not into oysters, guys, trust me, they got boiled shrimp. You can try their turkey brie, which Mike had, by the way, when we did our live show there this summer. They got a bacon sandwich, classic roast beef po' boy, guys. It's all real good stuff. They'll also be featuring a fully stocked bar, complete with top-notch bourbon, whiskey, craft beer selection. Don't miss out on Baton Rouge's newest oyster spot. All right. Make sure to let them know if you go in, guys, that TigerBait sent you in. And, of course, we got to talk about the electrical company of TigerBait.com, the official electrical company. And guess what? Preston's new studio I was telling you all about at the beginning of the show. We're about to be wired for success, baby. Dykes is coming in to build my new studio. So I'm excited about that. It also shows, look, we're not just using sponsors and telling you about sponsors. We're living sponsors here. Right? It is embedded into our life. Guys, Dykes Electrical, is the official electrical company of TigerBait.com. No matter how big or small your electrical needs may be, Dykes is wired for success. Need a brand new 2-story office building? They can wire that. 200,000 square foot warehouse? We can wire that. Expanding your existing commercial building? They can wire that. Changing out a breaker, whole electrical panel, or just a receptacle in your home or office? They can wire that. Upgrading old lighting in your home or office? Guess what? They can also wire that. Give them a call today at the number on your screen, 225-216-9180 for a free estimate on your project. Make sure to let them know that TigerBait sent you in. And guys, look, if you're looking to get geared up this football season and look as good as Zack, is that a rowback you're wearing, Zack?
It is indeed.
I had the first thing I asked him when he got engaged is, hey, does that mean more rowback gear? Because his soon-to-be mother-in-law spoils that ever living crap out of him with the.
She does, man. She does a fantastic job.
So if you want to look as good as Zack with his rowback gears, you need to go out to Alumni Hall to get all of your gear, guys. By the way, they have Jaden Daniels jerseys set up in the store. Those are selling like hotcakes. That's really cool that they can now do player stuff like that. So y'all make sure to go in there and get them checked out. They got the Nike Pegasus shoes. Those won't be there long either. So y'all make sure to check out Alumni Hall online or go into the store at Perkins Road to get your goods there, guys. But look, if you're ordering online, they get free shipping on orders over $99 or more. Also, if you're in Baton Rouge, they're shipping locally. They're shipping from the store, not a warehouse. So it's going to get to you way faster. So if you need something in time for football season, you say you're ordering in 2 or 3 weeks, it'll get there pretty quickly. So guys, I got, it's the best place to get all your officially licensed gear. Alumni Hall is your ultimate shopping destination, guys. They've got it all the Nike, Champion, Johnny O, Honor Reserve, Peter Millar, Southern Tide, hats, Yetis, gifts, accessories. Guys, it's all at Perkins Row. Visit them online at alumnihall.com and make sure to use the promo code TigerBait10. That's TigerBait. I'm sorry. Actually, just TigerBait. Just TigerBait to get 10% off. Just use promo code TigerBait to get 10% off your order today. That works in store or online. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Do we have any super insightful comments? I had to skip through. I wanted to get to more comments, but someone says the new mic I'm using is fancy, and it's a new mic setting that I am using. Yeah, it's like a clean voice setting made for podcast. So y'all let me know if you like it. One of the things I'm always afraid of when I use any kind of enhancer is like, does it not look or sound like me anymore? Because if not, I'm just not going to be fake. Okay, like just tell me. And I'll take it off. I don't care. You can make fun of me, whatever. I don't care. But it is. I've been using the mic. I just have a new setting on if I sound a little different. And if it sounds like I'm being fake or a poser, someone let me know in the comments. No hard feelings. I'll turn it off next week. Okay. So, Zack, boots on the ground today. How hot was it?
Man, they had us in the shade along the sideline right by the ops building. So, not too bad today. Not too bad. We've seen it. We've seen it way worse in the past. We've seen it way worse.
They stuck us on the heat on Saturday, which I'll say this, it's about 85 to 90. So it's like the coldest fall camp practice you're going to get, but they had a tent in the way, so we couldn't do the shaded area. So, okay, what were your practice notes for today? What was notable?
Yeah, I think when you look offensively, this team just has so many weapons to work with. They went through a 7-on-7 live period today where Garrett Nussmeier was sharp. Earlier in the show, I was talking a little bit about the pass that he made to Trey'Dez Green along the right sideline. He went up and got it. I mean, this dude got to the second floor and made the play. May have gotten his toe down. I saw it get down. A couple other people didn't. So, nonetheless, that'd be one where we would definitely go back and review in game. But nonetheless, to make the play and come down with it was notable. Then he went on the next play and hit Chris Hilton on a deep ball to the left side of the field, where that was a notable pass that he made as well over the shoulder, right in the basket. And it's really showing that Garrett Nussmeier is starting to hit that groove, man. This is a guy who is attacking the offseason and really starting to look the part. This is a guy who's dialed in. During practice today, those were the takeaways through the air. And then you look on the rushing attack, Caden Durham. Man, this is a guy who is just really looking like a bowling ball getting down the field, and not just a slow rolling bowling ball. This is a guy that we know is a track star, handled business while at Duncanville on the prep scene, and he's starting to continue to keep that quick twitchiness despite putting on more muscle mass. He looked fantastic, broke open a 20-plus yard run today that had a lot of people turning heads. So the offense looks sharp. A lot of things that we like to talk about is the tight end rotation and how they're going to utilize Trey'Dez Green and Bauer Sharp. Saw a lot of 12 personnel, saw Bauer Sharp get out and kind of make a nice play on a little slip screen action as well. So you're starting to see a ton of versatility in the playbook and a much more dynamic play calling system from Joe Sloan offensively. And then
needed too, by the way, really needed that.
And that's something, Preston, that you and I talked about so much last year, man. The predictability of this offense stuck out like a sore thumb. You knew what Garrett Nussmeier was doing just because the offensive line was struggling in the run block attack. So right now, you know that you're going up against a super talented defensive line during practice. But nonetheless, I think that you're in a good spot offensively right now. And then on the defensive side of the ball, man, it was all about Harold Perkins. It was an exciting time to see him really flash. And to say flash is an understatement. To come out with that interception, get in the backfield, man, he was wreaking havoc out there. So it was exciting to see him out there. Saw a lot of action from Jakeem Jackson, Mansour Delane, and A.J. Halsey. This is a player, if you know Buddy Sonji, man, Buddy Sonji is about as passionate of a guy as it comes. Man, this guy's special. Buddy Sonji is a guy that I love talking about, a special voice in the LSU world, in the LSU community. We sit back and talk about the defensive backfield a lot, and we got to see A.J. Halsey shine today. This is a guy that Buddy wants to see get some big-time PT, and nonetheless, you got to see that a little bit today. So we got about 20, 25 minutes worth of kind of 7-on-7 action, and those were a little bit of the takeaways. We can dive into a little bit more after, but a really beneficial day for the offense. The offensive line's getting in a groove. Big-time day for LSU, man.
Let me ask this. Did you get a chance to see Harlem Berry take any substantial reps today? Because that was the thing that really disappointed me on Saturday was he really didn't get very many notable 11-on-11 reps. They actually turned to Jawan Johnson before him.
Yeah, today it was a lot of Caden Durham and Caleb Jackson. It's kind of that thunder and lightning 1-2 punch. You didn't see too much Harlan Berry. He got on the field during 7-on-7. But like you said, nothing too significant on that front. Not as much Jawan Johnson. You saw him in more of a wide receiver role today. And Brian Kelly was asked about that after in the post-practice press conference, just how they're going to utilize him as a player moving into this upcoming season. Because obviously, man, we've seen him as a defensive back, running back, quarterback, and now he's taking some reps as a wide receiver too. So finding his bread and butter has been a struggle. And he kind of talked about, do we want to play him 5 games this year, or could we conserve it and utilize a red shirt in 2025? So finding Jawan Johnson's kind of ideal spot remains a little bit of a struggle, but they're not afraid to put him all over the place. This is a gamer with the ball in his hands. There's a reason why he's playing offense right now. It's just a matter of finding where he can really get that bread and butter, like I was saying a second ago.
All right. So look, if y'all have any questions on that, let's unpack them, man. Let's talk about it. Tari Love with a good comment here. What's the point of a super chat if it gets read? I just want to point out real quick, Ben, look, honestly just didn't see it until I scrolled down to a certain point. And as soon as I saw it, I made sure to get to it. Okay. And I actually skipped over chat and had to go back to a comment. But yeah, man, look, I mean, I just go, first show back in 6 months. I'm just trying to get to some extra comments to let the fans engage. It's a little different than we usually do. But yeah, I apologize. Tell you what, Tari, if you got another comment, pop it up there. I'll be keeping an eye out for you and I'll get you another comment out there. But I guess the super chat, the point of it is you support the show and it guarantees your comment does get up there. You know, sometimes we miss them in terms of how quickly we can do it. You know, it's a little tougher to produce a show. You know what I mean? So anyways, let's take a look at few more questions here. Stephen Miller with a good question. O-line, okay, with W the biggest. The O-line, do either of you foresee the screen game being a bigger factor in the offense this year? Hasn't been a big part in yours. Man, didn't it seem like they did a lot of screens last year in fall camp?
A little bit, and that's another thing, speaking of Buddy, that him and I talked about a lot, is that we saw a ton of playbook creativity during fall camp, and it didn't quite translate to in-game situations. So I think moving forward, Steve, I think you're definitely going to see a lot more screen action this year. It's hard not to with the speed that you have on this roster, from a Barian Brown, Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton, all the way down to a Jelani Watkins, Harlem Berry, et cetera. So, yeah, I think as long as you continue to get the blocking perspective in check, you're going to see some screen action for sure. You got too much speed not to.
When you run screens consistently, it gets rid of those white knuckles. You know what I mean? Those guys just absolutely leaning forward and launching themselves like rockets. They have to kind of be a little more balanced with their core, so it really slows down guys, particularly on pass rushing. When you know it's a down that they're going to pass, it's a good way to take advantage and have a short passing game that changes the way you play it defensively, So, yeah, it was disappointing to not see it last year. Ask Zack from Chance Babbitt. Over under LSU has 12 draft picks this year. Oh, 12?
Yeah, to have double-digit draft picks would obviously be a ridiculous feat for this team, but there's a ton of talent. I think this season you're going to see a lot of guys continue cruising up draft boards, obviously headlined by Garrett Nussmeier. So for me, to see double-digit players drafted would not surprise me. I think you have the talent to really see some players hear their names called, even if it's later in the draft, of course, man. So, no, to see double-digit players get drafted would not surprise me. I mean, Preston, how many do they have this year?
But wait, go over under 12.
Yeah, I'll probably go under just because over 12 would be pretty ridiculous. I'm trying to think about how many were drafted in 2025. That's something that
a lot for sure. I don't have the number. Let's put it like this: 2019 was it tied the NFL record for most players drafted in this 7-round draft era at 14. So, I mean, 12 would put this team talent-wise right up there with 2019 in terms of volume, not quality of talent. But I haven't tallied up the dudes. That would take a while to tally up the dudes. But 12, I would go under. But we'll see. Hey, look, it's Cousin Trey. What's up? It's that time of year. Let's go, man. I love Cousin Trey. All right, let's see here. Some say after today's practice that Jawan Johnson. I just read it as it said Jay Johnson, but you can't say Jay Johnson in an LSU show and not clarify. Could be running back 2. I mean, based on the reps I've seen, that he looks like he's getting RB2 reps, but I can't imagine that's actually the case.
Yeah, I couldn't envision that happening this season, Steve. I think just because you've got that 1-2 punch of Caden Durham and Caleb Jackson, and then Harlem Berry in your back pocket as well. It sounds to me like Brian Kelly and company are really starting to sit back and try to evaluate how they want to even use Jawan Johnson this year. Maybe preserving a red shirt is in the cards, kind of what he alluded to today during that press conference. But he's getting some reps everywhere, man. This is a guy that they're not scared to put on the football field. I'll tell you that much.
This LSU is 2 levels above LSU last year. I mean, the players are saying that too, by the way. And I think there's not a soul in that room who recognizes, cut the BS, last year's team lacked talent compared to where we're at right now.
It's a collective buy-in, Preston. Like, I think when you look at the staff, they're all extremely bought in, and then you look at the newcomers that they added in, and then you look at the camaraderie that they have with the returning pieces. It's kind of a unique blend of talent on this team. It's a collective buy-in. So when I sit back and say that this team is well more equipped moving into this year than they were last year, I don't think that's an understatement.
Okay, so I'm going to get to a final ad break here. When we get back, I want to build on what you just talked about, that team chemistry, because that's something that keeps on coming up organically. By the way, this is a team that introduced 40 new players this year, by the way. So that's a lot of new faces, but it seems like that just keeps on coming up, that there's more talent and they're more tight, more bonded than they were a year ago. I'm going to give a couple examples of what I've noticed and clips, and we'll build on that in just a bit. But first off, let's talk about a few of our sponsors tonight. Let me pull this up. Where did it go? Oh, man, I lost it. All right. But guys, y'all know Struby's Seafood and Steaks in downtown Baton Rouge, guys. Look, if you're looking for a great steak, guys, this is the best place to go for it. Zack and I have been there. Zack, what'd you get when you ordered there? Did you go ribeye?
Man, I went with a filet, and let me tell you this. I say it time and time again. I'm a New Orleans native. I'm a guy who's serious about my food. When we sat down at Struby's and got some eats, it was good. That rivals a lot of the food that I've had in New Orleans. Took my fiance Gabriella there as well last year. That's some good food, man. It's hard to go to Struby's and walk out full. They take care of you. The food's great. Can't complain, man. The food was fantastic over there.
Located on 107 3rd Street in downtown Baton Rouge, it prides itself on being a 5-star dining experience for a reasonable price. Struby's is locally owned with ownership in the building daily, taking a level of pride in their food and service you're just not going to see from just any old corporate establishment. Struby's features a full menu of specialty meats, including USDA Prime Angus black steaks, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. For those looking for something outside of red meat, they offer items such as dry-aged pork chop, black truffle lobster pasta, redfish, and plenty more. Book your reservation online tonight at strubys.com and make sure to let them know TigerBait sent you in. Right. And guys, change the way you feel at Rejuvame Medical by creating customizable treatment plans based on your goals. Rejuvame can lead you to success.
I'm Dustin Goto. I received testosterone replacement therapy from Rejuvenate. My very first shot, the next morning I woke up, looked in the mirror, I could feel the difference in my body. Go for a consult. You may not know how bad you feel until you start feeling good.
All righty. And guys, Genesis of Lafayette is the premier luxury dealership offering the finest SUVs in the region, coupled with the best service anywhere. Genesis of Lafayette has a huge inventory of new and certified and pre-owned Genesis vehicles. For a truly first-class automotive experience, it's Genesis of Lafayette, 6600 Johnston Street, here to exceed your expectations. Genesis of Lafayette. Shop online at genesisoflafayette.com or call them at 877-856-2961. All right, guys, and for the best casual dining experience downtown, guys, y'all got to pop over to Capital City Grill. One thing we always try to do with our TigerBait partners is make sure we partner with locally owned businesses we've experienced firsthand and we know we can endorse to provide an outstanding experience. Anytime I'm trying to take someone to a nice casual dining spot downtown, I always take them out to Capital City Grill. This football season, we're proud to add them to our lineup. Located on 100 Lafayette Street in downtown Baton Rouge, Capital City Grill is your ideal dinner stop. They feature a variety of sandwiches, burgers, seafood, pasta, steaks, and more, with almost everything priced at $30 or below for an affordable experience. Don't forget to celebrate Tigers' win at their Sunday morning brunch, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and book your reservation online at capitalcitygrill.net. Make sure to let them know TigerBait sent you in. Okay. I do have, let me take my ad off here. I do have a little clip I wanted to share with y'all. And we're talking about team chemistry and bonding. The guys have mentioned going paintballing. I talked to, let's see, I talked to Tyree Adams about Garrett Nussmeier taking the whole team out to walk-ons the other day. And just seems like this team is a really tight-knit unit. And that sounds like something cliche you would talk about. But it keeps on coming up as something. These guys are comfortable with each other. And I'm going to show a little clip from the Netflix documentary they posted today with Garrett Nussmeier and Whit Weeks. Just, by the way, possibly, would you say two best players on the team? Are those the two best players on the team?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a fair assessment.
Yeah, so your two best players on the team. Let's take a peek at let's just take a quick peek. And by the way, this is going to be a major documentary. It's SEC football, but LSU is going to play a key role in this. And let's hear this and see if you don't get hyped up for a little football here. Anyways, if what we're saying isn't hyping you up enough, just listen to a little bit of Whit Weeks hyping up Nussmeier to come on back, which of course Whit Weeks was successful. That would have been before the NFL draft last year. I'll also tell you this. It wasn't just that wasn't the only money that Nussmeier turned down. He could have hit the portal and gotten a massive pay raise, but Nussmeier genuinely chose to come back to LSU. I think he really wanted to be here, and I think that LSU has a player quarterbacking them who could legitimately be a starting NFL quarterback this year. I mean, look at who got drafted this year. I mean, there's an argument that Nussmeier is better than Jackson Dart. He was a first round draft pick for the Giants. I mean, just look at the quarterback draft. It's very possible he could be a starting NFL. Hey, he could probably start for the Saints, actually.
You're not wrong, man. I think I love that snippet so much. I think this team I think Whit Weeks and Garrett Nussmeier, I think that's a small snippet of the relationship that they've kind of developed, not just last year, but just in general during their time in Baton Rouge. Those two guys were going to dinners and holding poker nights and doing this and that during the offseason with both returning players and transfer portal visitors, man. Those two guys played a pivotal role in assembling this roster. So those two guys are all in. That snippet kind of shows a little bit of their relationship. But those two guys, man, they talk really highly about each other. They're the quarterback on both sides of the ball, figuratively and literally. So big-time expectations for those two. I think they're really excited. And, man, with that does that documentary come out tomorrow, Preston?
Thursday.
Okay.
But that probably means Wednesday at midnight.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. First off, SEC football is a phenomena. Okay. I love when like Europeans or non-Southern football fans come and start learning about SEC football and they're like, bro, this is different. Like people like they'll go to like an NFL game or something, and NFL games are great. And look, I've been to some big Saints games and all, but dude, SEC football is just it's unlike anything I've ever seen, man. It's just crazy, especially when you're like at the games going to it. So yes, this is a phenomena of mankind, like the pyramids or anything else. We have 1,000 documentaries on the Egyptian pyramids and not one on SEC football. And I think they are equal accomplishments of mankind. Okay. So yes, lots of chemistry on this team. That's been a recurring message. I don't know if it's manufactured or organic, meaning is that Brian Kelly making it a point to bring chemistry to this team because there's 40 new faces, or is it just natural? I talked to West Weeks and he's like, I don't know that anybody's pushing that. We're just doing it. So I don't know. It seems like this team, tight knit group and lots of extra talent. We'll see. The expectations are there. I got a couple good comments. We'll end the show on here. We've always been contenders when the staff is top notch. How does this staff compare? Zach, you want to take that one off? Kind of a loaded question, don't you think?
Yeah, man, I think when you look at the staff as a whole from top to bottom, you return Blake Baker and Joe Sloan in their second seasons as the coordinator. Obviously, Corey Raymond back in the fold as well. You go out and get Kyle Williams, who's already proving he's an elite-level recruiter, and then you see what he's doing on the field as well from an intensity perspective with Dominic McKinley, Sadir Mitchell, obviously Ahmad Bro, Bernard Gooden is starting to flash during camp. So from a coaching perspective, from a staff perspective, you got some experienced guys out here. And I know Kyle Williams isn't necessarily experienced from a coaching perspective, but he's been around the game. He's played it at the highest level. He's a guy who can get the best out of his players and get the most out of them. So, yeah, man, I think the staff is in a really good spot.
He can recruit, by the way, in case you haven't noticed.
We're seeing that time and time again, man. This guy can recruit like crazy. And he's starting to get these guys hitting their stride. Bernard Gooden is one that I've really seen flash significantly during camp. That's a South Florida transfer that they got during the spring portal window. So, yeah, I think when you talk about those championship-level years, I think you have a championship-level staff as well under Brian Kelly in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I think it's a really good staff. To compare it to those three, I'm also say 03 was one of the best coaching staffs ever assembled, especially if you start looking at the assistant coaches and what they went on to do. Like Mel Tucker, who used to be the head coach at Michigan State before scandal, was there as like a very low-level coach. Who was the coach for Tennessee that was a head coach guy? I forgot. He was like special teams coordinator. Kirby Smart. No, not Kirby Smart. Will Muschamp was your DC. Kirby Smart was your DB coach. I mean, it's an unbelievable coaching staff that they assembled in 03. 07, I'll say the coaching staff was definitely better than the 07 staff, top to bottom. I think Brian Kelly's better than Les Miles as a coach. I think Blake Baker is as good, if not better, than Bo Pelini 1.0. And Gary Croton was nothing special in OC. I'd have to go and look at all the position coaches and remember, like, okay, Greg Studrawa. Okay, well, I think Greg Studrawa is still at Ohio State, but Greg Studrawa was, he was a good, serviceable O-line coach, but I'll take Brad Davis over him. But, I would say this coaching staff is better than 07. 19 is such an odd coaching staff question to ask because obviously I think Brian Kelly is a much better football coach than Ed Orgeron. That's why you fired Ed Orgeron and replaced him with Brian Kelly. But then you think about Ensminger and Joe Brady, that combo. It'd be hard for me to pick Joe Sloan over them, right? I love Joe Sloan. but it is what it is. We saw what you saw last year, and it was not elite work. It was serviceable work from Joe Sloan with a chance to be great in the future. But thus far, Joe Sloan's reputation is not. I would take those two over him. And then DC was Dave Aranda. I mean, I'm taking Dave Aranda over Blake Baker. So it was almost like Ogeron assembled the Avengers. He recruited an elite playing core and an elite coaching staff, and then everything fell apart. He could not rebuild them. He built the Avengers, and then Thanos snapped his fingers after they got the trophy. So I'll still go this staff over 19 because I think Brian Kelly's that much better of a coach than Ed Ogeron. We'll see. Anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up tonight's show. I appreciate y'all for coming out. We didn't get to talk much about LSU being 9th in the coaches poll, but we'll have a lot of time to talk about that. That shows some leveled expectations from coaches, at least. I think the media poll, they're going to be a little bit higher, but it's still top 10 team, and still, by the way, good enough to make the college football playoff, which I think as the season goes on, we're going to hit up that is the benchmark for this team. If you don't make the playoffs, it's playoffs or bust. Am I off on that, Nagy?
No, man. I think college football playoff or bust. With this roster, the resources that you put into this roster, the talent that you return, the talent that you went and got through the portal, I think it's a college football playoff or bust season for this team. I don't think that's a kind of a harsh take. I think it's just a fact when it comes to this team moving into 2025.
All right. And Zach, closing thoughts here. Why don't you let the people know where they can keep up with your work? We're back into football season, which means we're back to pumping out content.
Yeah, man, we're here. It's a big time season coming up. Obviously, I'll be at fall camp moving forward. Obviously, you can find me at ZNAGY20 is the personal page. At LSU Tigers SI is where you can find all the LSU stuff on the Sports Illustrated page as well. So rolling out a ton of content, man. Make sure to follow the pages. If you're not on social media, go into a search engine and put in LSU SI, and you'll find anything you need football related, baseball, basketball, transfer portal, recruiting, any buzz that you need, purple and gold related. We've got it on the site, man.
There you go, man. And nobody works harder than this guy. Dude, your profile, the amount of work you've put into this has just grown so much over the years, man. And look, you're building a brand for yourself. People know your name nowadays. And guys, look, y'all make sure to follow me at pguy77 on Twitter. You can also go check out all our work at TigerBait.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This channel continues to grow. I think we're cruising on up to 40,000 subscribers. Can't tell you how much that means. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page as well. We're now at 105,000 of you on Facebook. So we appreciate all of y'all's support. Please don't forget to like and share the show if you enjoyed what you saw tonight. I appreciate y'all. And look, for the next 26 weeks, we'll be here every Monday night at 8 p.m. So I'm looking forward to a great football season with you. Thank you, Zach, and thank y'all for watching.